Wonder, wonder on the wall.
What kind of product is it after all?
Exactly.
I mean, I said maybe.
We're all in the forums for Wonder, right?
Yep, made it
For
into
the most
alpha
part,
program.
I might check in every now and then.
I went a little nuts my first day on the Wonder forum.
Which everybody does.
Yeah.
You know.
That's generally the case when you first get access to something that isn't, public yet.
Yeah, but there's no information still.
Yeah, there's you go crazy one day and then you kind of burn yourself out on that first day because you don't really have a reason to go back at this point.
I will have to admit that I'm going into it from some forum experience because I was initially on Something Awful and seeing how a large, well-established forum operates. Mm-hmm. When you go into a smaller one that's still growing out its user base, it does tend to feel like it's sort of a barren location.
Oh, absolutely.
That not many people are posting. People are posting as they come in, and I would say that there is the potential for information there. I'm just, it really is a question of what they decide to reveal. And currently that's diddly.
Yeah. Even though the CEO puts out a post, go, hey, we want you to what is Wonder? Go ahead and comment. We want ask questions. We want to answer them. We want to be transparent. And
about as transparent as a cinder block.
Yeah. It's like Sean Spicer hiding in the bush, and everybody's dancing around it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just one of the reasons I haven't really been on the forum recently is because I don't personally feel a want to go back onto there. I don't know what this product is going to be about. Like, so what necessarily am I going to be going onto this forum for other than the small talk posts that everyone makes right now?
Yeah, and you can get that anywhere, and a lot of these people we already know from other places, so we have those.
If you're looking for a place that promotes a really friendly environment like what they're putting up on the Wonder Forum, Rainn Wilson, the actor, put up a site called Soul Pancake.
Okay.
That is one of those very positive kind of good-feely sort of places that has a very wide user base.
Yeah.
And it is about just kind of going there and generally being goody two-shoes, nice and positive.
Mm-hmm.
This, on the other hand, I mean, I put it on the CEO's forum page, like the post that he put up saying, let's ask some questions and everything like that. I'm like, the thing you need to understand is my generation, the Gen Xers and surrounding, I don't know, I feel like I'm on the very cusp of that kind of thing.
Kind of showing your age there a little bit.
A little bit. But we were taught not to trust a smiling face if we didn't know it beforehand.
Yeah.
And especially like in retail, like the retail training that I had, you were told do not approach somebody from that generation when they're trying to shop because that most likely will reduce their chances of buying something because they don't want to be talked to. They want to sit there and have this buyer's dialogue in their own head and convince themselves. They don't want somebody coming up and giving them initially just basically a sales pitch or an upsell.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what this is starting to feel like, is it's essentially just trying to gather an audience around for a product pitch. Kind of like one of those in-store demonstration kind of things.
Yeah, for an inadequate product too, because it's okay. So it's like going into Sam's Club and you see those little carts where they're trying to like sell you something or give you a little nibble or something.
Yeah.
Except this is the cart that just says Wonder, and there's a guy behind it saying, "Don't worry, it's on the way."
Yeah, roll up.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Come and wait.
I mean, it's literally just like I would see that. It's like one of those. Again, back to the Sam's Club. It's like the free samples. Okay, where are the samples? Oh, they'll be here. Mm-hmm. And you're just sitting there like, what are the free samples of? Oh, you'll find out.
Yeah, they're going to be amazing. They're going to be magical. We are
putting up the Donald Trump hands.
Well, that's a Steve Jobs. That's a Steve Jobs thing.
Okay.
Everything is magical.
Yeah, Trump stole that from Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Did you know that in Sam's Club, the free samples things now are starting to turn into machines?
Yes,
like there are actual machines where you like put in your driver's license or something.
Well, I'm just like
your Sam's Club card.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just like I didn't come here for free samples of technology. I came here for my second lunch.
Well, the thing is like he said in his reply post, he's like, "Oh, cool, thanks for the comments and everything," but doesn't answer any questions, even though they want to be transparent and wanted us to ask questions so he could answer things.
And then he doesn't answer questions.
Yeah, and. There's the gaming generation, not your hardcore gamers, but we're qualified
average gaming, community.
Yeah, are 31 is the average age.
Okay.
So
I guess I'm just a baby then.
you are a little bitch baby.
Oh, well, I'll be turning 23 in a couple months.
You still fall into the hardcore market, but the 31 pluses are typically the ones that have more disposable income. Okay, typically.
Yeah.
Typically.
And
It's really hard to call any income disposable in this world.
right.
True.
Yeah.
But the thing is like we have no idea what this is. We don't know if this is VR. We don't know if this is AR. We don't know if they're actually just making software. We don't know if this is something that's supposed to replace our smartphone or if it's supposed to supplement our smartphone.
We don't know what kind of technology they're offering at all.
And-
I mean, does it go in the kitchen? Is it part of my car? Is it?
Does it have a retarded head strap that I have to use?
Yeah.
You know,
Am I going to have to wear it?
Can it babysit my kids and pay my bills at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is those 31-year-olds though, we remember the .com bust, and the problem with technology, especially in Silicon Valley again, is we're starting to see the ghost signs of a second .com bust, where we're seeing these startups and everything else like this, and they promise something wonderful and magical, and look at us, we have all these people from all these other wonderful companies. But we're not presenting you anything.
Exactly.
And so I'm very reserved because I ain't seeing anything. You know, it's just like, oh, cool, we've had some people invest in us and we've raised some money and we have a product, but we're not going to tell you. Yeah. You know, it's it could be the biggest flaming piece of crap out there.
I mean,
it almost kind of, okay, so this is a little bit different because they did provide like visuals of what to expect or things to look forward to. And that,
really, where are these visuals at?
No. I'm not talking about for Wonder. I'm not talking about for Wonder.
Oh,
I'm
good.
talking about like
Okay.
in relation to something like that.
And then in the .com, at least you got a website saying that it was going, you know, kind of give a sense that it was going to do something on the computer or around the tech industry or something like that.
Well, this kind of reminds me of like, I already forgot the name of the game. It's the open world space game.
Okay.
There's
EVE Online, Elite Dangerous.
No, the latest one that got completely shit on as soon as
Osiris New Dawn.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Kind of reminds me of that because like it
Can't get away from that game.
It didn't actually show any actual gameplay. It just showed their pre-rendered scenes of like stuff they most likely edited to make it look more cinematically appealing.
Okay, so the problem. Okay, so No Man's Sky is the wrong example because that was a set of over-promising and under-delivering. That was, well, it's not licking toads, you know, as Mouse likes to say.
Yeah.
But there's
Thank you. That's like the best thing to come out of The Simpsons at all. In the
Licking
last,
toes?
Yeah, in the last like 15 series.
But Wonder, we have nothing. We see a website. They don't even, you know, they say they're going to revolutionize. We don't even see potentially anything. You know, we have all these other products and other companies going for VR and AR and everything.
yeah.
So
Even
us-
HTC Vive showed at least what their new headset that's going out to the Chinese
wireless
market
one?
first. Yeah, the standalone one. What that's going to look like at the very least.
And then the Oculus rumors of a similar device.
Yeah.
More affordable, all-encompassing, all-contained VR device. At least we see a device.
Yeah.
At least we know that
They
this
show
company makes that kind of
they
thing.
show what the possible product is going to be.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Wonder is we have no idea if there's even a device here. Okay.
Well, so us seniors understand a phrase that may have kind of fallen out of colloquial use. It's called snake oil.
Yes.
I've never heard of that at all. Wow.
Or you know, the old Wendy's commercials. Where's the beef?
Yeah, where's the beef?
I remember that just because they did a throwback commercial for that.
Yeah. But
it's snake oil is generally, it was just some guy would roll into some town usually in the West or something like that doesn't, just filled with a bunch of people who don't really know what to do with their money,
Right.
essentially. And they would roll in and they set up some sort of cart and just have all these colorful bottles lined up with like some very official looking label on them, and sell it off as like a cure-all for everything from
Lord.
arthritis to gout to
hair loss.
And I mean, it was
Basically feeding to the placebo effect.
essentially, yeah, and so it's just snake oil salesmen. It's like, they say this will cure your ails and solve all your problems. That's exactly what Wonder is starting to sound like here.
But snake oil salesmen are still better because at least they had a product that they were selling you.
Yeah, even if it was just mineral oil in a bottle, it was still something.
There was a physical product
You
to
got
see.
something shiny.
Yeah, we've seen there's no shininess, nothing else, and he wants to build a community. So the CEO in his response said, we want to make sure we build a community around this and everything else like this. These forums have been up for 2.5 weeks. There is nothing that is incentivizing people to want to stay on these forums right now. We're getting no carrots.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
It started off with an initial bushel. I will point that out. I mean, when you walked in, and at least when you walked into the introduce yourself part of the thing, you saw people who were involved, who were saying that they were actual employees here. They have a good social manager. I think GoGo is doing her job.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, GoGo is always doing her job.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. The other people who are involved, they sound like they are very good industry people, that they've come from very different walks of life, and that they're all involved in certain aspects of tech or business or development. So we know that something is in development.
Yeah.
And that was enough to keep us going for a week or two.
But after that initial couple of weeks, then you're just like, okay, what else do you have to show me?
The biggest, juiciest carrot on that stick was, we are in the alpha program. We are in on the ground floor. We are the people coming in who are going to get this information first.
Yeah.
And
help provide feedback.
Yeah.
And so far, the only information we have is what we infer from what we've read.
Yeah, and as far as I know, like this, they one of the initial questions were, do you play VR? It's like, oh, is this a VR product? Is this something that's going to be, augmented reality or virtual reality? But that's the thing. Like, after that initial question, they have nothing else to lead up to it.
And the other thing is, they seem to kind of lean towards, are you involved in mobile at any point as well? So
Yeah.
it does seem like VR AR is the kind of focus here, but once again, no official confirmation,
Absolutely.
even on the inside.
And that's the thing,
also
too.
no NDA. So sorry guys if you think that.
And kind of to show my little bitch baby age, this product that they're talking about and everything, this, I'm going to put in quotations because I don't know what the product is. This product they're talking about, they're obviously it's going to be leaning more towards my generation in the sense of, like, because the latest technology, virtual reality, the things that people of my generation are now looking forward to in gaming and general just life stuff. And so, like, the thing with my generation is that we look for instant gratification. We want that instantaneous, like, answer to our questions, and if we don't get it, we immediately lose interest.
Yes, and that's very true. And then the other side of the coin, in the senior gaming, community.
Can we wrap this up early? Because I need to go and buy some diapers and Metamucil.
Give me a few minutes. Matlock's not on yet. Okay.
Yeah, they got a sale on Viagra down at the Walgreens.
But
You went there.
but
I
the,
did.
but the problem with the senior gamer community is we've seen these promises. It's everything old is new again. This is history repeating. We have seen, what was it? What was the one I showed you? CES 1995 or 96? I think 95.
One of the early computer corners.
With Steve Chaffee.
Yeah.
For the Computer Chronicles. And you watch that, and the sales pitches are the exact same thing then as they are now. It's just
20 years later.
If we do not learn, history will repeat itself.
Yeah.
And boy, has it repeated itself tenfold.
And we've seen basically the innovations in VR. We've seen a lot dump and everything else like this. But it's like, if we're going to be playing, we're still playing games. And the thing is like, the product has to be very compelling for us to want to replace our cell phones, because we need to do business things too. And on top of it, I lost my words. It has to be insanely compelling, because we're already disenfranchised by all the ups and downs of VR.
So yeah,
that have happened.
When I grew up in school, again dating myself and everything like that, I come from a generation that was used to, if I didn't know something, I didn't have a fancy device or a computer I could go to and just look it up. If I didn't know something, I had to accept the fact that I didn't know, and I probably wouldn't know for a very long time.
Right.
And I would have to write letters, and I would have to read books, and I would have to ask people and try to find where to go to find out that information before I could even start finding out information.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then, during that time where I was sort of learning those processes, this big new fancy thing came out, computers, the internets, and eventually the smartphones and things like that.
Yeah.
That, brought that information just to a quick search. Like you just had to type in if you knew the right keywords, you could find out exactly what you needed to know. And then you could also you could be told exactly what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember when my mom got her first cell phone. Because I'm not as old as you guys are. I don't have that kind of experience that you guys do, leading into like the more technological age. But I still remember when my mom got her very first cell phone, and I still remember like how she liked the conveniency of not being stuck to a wire on a wall with your phone just to get a hold of people. Now you have people able to call you while you're, on the move.
Yep.
And it just leads for, that faster connectivity.
And it's also a convenience factor. It's like, someone that's older is going to want to look at what else it can do, such as, can I use it for doing like a walkthrough of a home I'm looking at buying? Can I view a car in 3D and inside? And here's the thing, PlayStation 3 is probably a prime example. Sure, it's a $600 unit when it came out, and it dropped in price and whatnot. But the young gamer looked at it and goes, it plays games. The older person looked at it and goes, oh, look, it also plays movies.
Yeah.
This is really cool because now it's 2 devices in one.
I don't have to have a DVD player and a game console, blah, blah, blah.
That was the smartest thing. Well, I believe the PS2. Didn't the PS2 do DVDs?
It did.
Yeah.
It did, but like...
It did CDs and DVDs.
And DVDs, but like as the times went on, we went to HD DVD, eventually Blu-ray. Couldn't play it.
But the PS3 was smart because they positioned the PS3 as one of the cheapest Blu-ray players.
And best ones on the market, too. That's the other thing.
It caused a shortage of the special lasers at the time.
No, absolutely, because, at that point, people were realizing you don't need a DVD player now. You can literally do it all on one thing. Yeah. And people like, again, conveniency. People like things to stay convenient and easy.
And the thing is they're sticking too close to their let's be mysterious, and they're trying to be mysterious and hoity-toity over here at Wonder.
It's having your cake and eating it. They want a brand. They want us to be ready to buy before we even know what it is that we're being sold.
That's not a good. In my opinion, it's not good business-wise.
No, it's not. What they can at least do is if they're trying to target gamers, no matter what the product is, to get some rumblings and keep it up, is they need to ham up the quote-unquote secrecy. Like they need to do things such as, okay, we're going to have a commercial where we're going to start talking about the product, and then have like a CIA van with people in, agents' outfits run up, grab the person, chuck them in the van, and run off.
The two things that are really popular in this day and age, as far as keeping things mysterious and keeping people engaged, is a countdown timer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's been pretty good for the last.
Well, that brings up a lot of hype because like, oh, it's almost time. And, first starts off like 21 days, and like, oh, 1 more day, 5 more hours, and people just it's the cliffhanger aspect. It's like.
It's you're about to get a carrot. Yeah. Right now, it's like we know that there's no definitive carrot. That countdown timer says there is a definitive carrot here.
And then the other one that's been very popular and is growing in popularity, it's not been around nearly as long, are AR treasure hunts.
Yep.
Which is sort of a geocaching kind of use the internet and real world to solve problems and puzzles and kind of follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
But it all needs to lead towards a goal, new information, a product reveal, or a drop or something like that.
Absolutely.
And neither of that, all we're getting is just good promises and good intentions. And unfortunately, you can hold that in one hand and do illicit things in another and see which one fills up first.
Well, that's the thing with the AR treasure hunt. They have so many wonderful things they could do with this. Like they could put out a video like showing the product and have some like unknown person just make an unboxing video of it, and then have it sit up there on the internet. Make sure that person doesn't advertise out that video, and then when people start asking questions, go, we've already done a review. It's out here.
It's right here.
It's right here. Man. And it just...
Why aren't you paying attention?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's... So,
well, and so that's what else I like about... So the indie game developing companies, what they like to do is they like to reach out to, streamers and everything.
Yep.
To be able to try out their game and build some hype by having their audience watch them play the game and then be like, this looks cool. I want to play it too. That's, as a Twitch streamer myself, I have my own contact where I get codes to games before they're released. So, and then, obviously following the embargo and everything,
Yeah.
I'll get to stream that game and let my audience watch it and kind of build their own hype of it.
And that's very journalistic, and
Yeah.
that's a good way to generate interest and buzz and get people involved.
And not only that, it's not just one bias, because even though one person's play it, multiple people are seeing the gameplay and can put in their own opinion on it.
So these are the real statements, and this is what we're thinking in general about Wonder. And I will have to point out that there is a statement from the CEO somewhere along the lines, where it basically, I'm paraphrasing to the best of my memory, my addled, aged memory, that basically what he says is that they want to draw from this alpha program community and decide how they're going to position the product and what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is a statement that there is, in fact, something of a product involved.
But we can provide no feedback right now because we know nothing.
Yeah.
So these are the questions that are being asked.
We're all basing this off of the one bias of the company rather than the multiple opinions of multiple people. Because in my opinion, whenever I go to buy a product, whenever I get interested in a product, I immediately look to the reviews. I want to see how many reviews it has, how many people rated it, how many stars, and their reasoning why. Which is why whenever I go to Amazon to look for something to buy, I don't even look at the product images yet. I go, boom, show me the reviews. Because I want to see what other people think of it.
And even then, show me the negative reviews.
Absolutely.
I don't care if it's got 98 positive reviews and 2 negative reviews. Show me the negatives.
Yeah, show me the negatives. And then another thing about that is, a lot of these products that I have end up buying off of Amazon, I will look at the negative reviews, and then the first comment on those negative reviews is the company saying, we apologize that this happened. Get in contact with us, and we can get it replaced for you.
That's a good thing.
That is an absolute good marketing skill.
Yeah.
Yep. So you have something else to finish up on your thoughts? You got interrupted twice there by us.
No, it's essentially this is probably what they're looking for, is this kind of buzz. And while we are, oiling our torches and sharpening our pitchforks, and being prepared to rabble rouse like the best of the rabbles and rousers.
Right. Because we're gamers and we're reviewers and we're critics.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a potent mix.
And we're in the alpha program, so we are probably the most potentially passionate about whatever's coming out.
Yeah.
Or either that, or we're Go-Go Usagi fans, but you know, that's one or the other.
I mean, but shout out to Go-Go.
Yeah.
Love you, boo.
Keep up the good work. So yeah, I'm on the forums. I'm Entity411. You're under Jenny Fedora.
Correct.
You're JackTheRipoff.
I am.
So we're there on the forums. If you guys, anybody on the Wonder Forum sees it, want to contact us, start a dialogue or something like that, we are always open to being approached.
Absolutely.
And otherwise, I think that's untapped.
Yeah. I mean, we want to see something, hopefully at some point. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that do, because I know there's a lot of people that don't speak up and they're just kind of like wandered off. But since
You're talking about me.
No, well, no, not you, because
you looked at me when you said that. I was like,
You actually spoke up here today. But the thing is that there's other people on the forums that have not. And on top of it, it's one of those things like they just wandered off, because that's what happens. If you're not interested, you just wander off. You're not going to tell the company you wandered off because you don't care.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, because not only are we the ones, other gamers and everything being in it, but they're also having their family members and their close friends in this forum as well. And how many family members are you going to see going to talk negatively on their product? Because that's their family. You got to be nice to your family.
Well, that's Joey's thing. I don't want to bother Joey's thing.
Exactly. You're not going to get that feedback from a person who doesn't really have much of a connection to you.
Excuse me.
You're not necessarily known as like friends or anything. So you're going to get more of an unbiased, unfiltered review.
Yep. Well, with all this, it's one of those things where it's like, we want to see something because
we're excited.
We care. This is criticism.
My pitchfork is excited.
We're critical because we care.
Yeah. We may be a bit trolly.
Very trolly.
But
in particular.
But I'm from the internet. Trolly is just the way it goes.
Yeah. That's this day and age. Gamers are trolly. They like shit post. We want information, even if it's hamming up something comedically. That's still a shit post about trying to keep things secret. Like, I mean, it could be people. I don't care. It could be people talking about this device, like the old, the old crime shows where it's like we're doing a voice change and putting them in silhouette to protect their identity, and they start to talk about like the company and the things, and something gets bleeped out or something like that. At least there's something there, and at least they're engaging. And right now, it's like
Just there's not a lot of excitement built up because there's nothing to look forward to at the moment.
It feels like .com stuffiness that's going bust with Silicon people, investors in the clouds that don't care about the actual user base right now, not wanting to build a community, because even as the CEO said, he wants to build a club. Well, if you join a club, there's some incentive.
Yeah, you usually get something out of joining a club.
Yeah, fancy blazer or a pen with your name on it or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, and usually there's some perks to being part of that club.
So,
and
essentially, I will point out 2 weeks. I mean, I got in 2 days ago or something like that.
It's been like 2.5.
Yeah, I mean that I can understand how that is, at least in an older sense, in an older value or an older business model. It takes time to come out with information or decide how to properly position things or something like that. And it could be they have been notoriously playing the cards close to the chest. I'm willing to say, while definitely patience is starting to run thin, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and see. I'm waiting for the sales pitch. I'm doing it with the usual cynicism and negativity that my generation has engendered, but
yes,
I'm still waiting for the sales pitch. I want to hear what they have to say. We're just not hearing anything yet.
Yeah, and the CEO going, hey, we want questions, we want to communicate, we want to be transparent, we want to answer questions.
But then there's no transparency with that.
Yeah, because his comment back was, oh, cool, we read your stuff and everything.
Thanks for the input.
Thanks for the input.
Thanks for the free market research.
And we just danced, and he danced around the bush. He didn't actually say anything.
Absolutely danced around the bush. Like there was no transparency. No questions got answered. It was literally just like, think of it as an automated message when you're calling a company.
Well,
thank you for your input.
Your call is important to us.
It felt like what Digital Devolver had done at E3 this year is they had lampooned that sort of stuff during their press conference.
Yep.
And Digital Devolver was the talk of E3 this year because they lampooned everything wrong with the big companies or the startups and things like this nowadays. I mean, you knew you were in for a show the minute that lady pulled out that starter pistol. Yeah. Especially when she loaded 2 extra shots into it for good measure, which was the best.
Boy.
But, it's like they rolled out these products about pre-alpha, as soon as it's thought up of and everything else like this. And they're like a slash, with words up in the
that
screens.
was a joke,
It's a joke, but it's a joke because it's lampooning the things that are wrong with the industry.
Yep.
And so they got all the attention at E3. It was absolutely great because they understand that they are aware that they are in that exact same market as all those other companies, and they are aware that's what their customer base is starting to go about with these shows.
It's like watching the old school Adam West Batman TV shows when they're going for the fight and you see the big flash, like bam, pow, kaboom, and then the next thing you see is just the bad guys just laying on the ground. I never saw any of the fight.
Yeah, but that was one of the best ones I've seen. Besides, memorable for me is like Steve Ballmer coming on stage, getting all excited, going woo, and PlayStation for the PlayStation Move. Even though the PlayStation Move was kind of bombed as a product, Kevin Butler, their fake CEO, interrupting the real CEO, which just magical. I mean, that's the sort of stuff that gamers like marketing wise.
Oh, of course. I mean, granted, a lot of people kind of like to see the awkwardness of E3 for people that don't know how to speak publicly.
Yeah.
Because those are the cringiest, just like, oh, I feel so bad for you. But then you have
that sweet guy who came up and did that. Was it the Tangled game or?
Yes.
Tangled or something like that.
Tangled.
Yeah, because they just gave him the stage and basically said, go up, pitch your product. And I mean, you could tell this guy had never done it. Just dealt with an audience that
he
huge.
Was nervous.
Oh my god! But that was just so endearing.
Absolutely.
And then he pulled out the little toy, and your heart melted.
Well, that's genuine. Yeah. Versus the whole.
That's the kind of things that appeal to me.
Yeah, but that's different. But both are different sides of the coin. That is totally different than the dynamic we've seen so far with Wonder.
Yeah. I'm still excited to see what comes next.
Yep. All right. So let's wrap this up so we can actually get into recording a podcast.
Yeah.
We just wanted to, make sure we talked about Wonder separately.
Otherwise, that'd take up, like half of our podcast?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't have much time for anything else.
Again, this is JackTheRipoff.
Hello.
He's on Twitch and YouTube.
I am.
And on the forums underneath JackTheRipoff. I'm Harrison with Jenny Fedora. I've parked the Jenny Fedora name, so that's why I don't have my own account yet.
I'm Faust with Jenny Fedora. I'm under Entity 411, which is my handle everywhere.
And we wonder what the response is going to be to this, and we wonder what's going to come in the next couple of weeks before the pitchforks come out.
There will be a response. Just get hyped for it. There's going to be a response. We don't have it now, but it'll be there.
Later.
See ya.
Bye. Well, that was fun. Good little rant.
No, we had to gush, get all of that out.
Went a lot longer. Until like 30 minutes. Oh shit, that shit was pent up.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably like 25.
Oh, I mean, we were ready to talk about it. Like,
Well, it's because it's starting to get to a frustrating point, especially after that CEO's reply.
Yeah.